Okay. Hello, dear lovely YouTubers. I hope you're okay out there today. It's very, very hot. We're on the 17th of July and we're on the cusp of a severe heat warning, severe weather warning in the UK. So I'm going to look at the cave because it's the only place that's safe to be in this heat. If you haven't got aircon, and some shops have got aircon though, haven't they? So that's, you know, an interesting idea. If you've got to go out in the heat, make sure you go somewhere that's got aircon. In the UK, generally we don't do aircon, so when we get this little bit of hot weather, even though it's not for very long, it's only for a couple of days, we struggle. Just like we struggle when there's a lot of snow. Anything extreme, we're just not very good with in the UK because we think we can soldier on, soldier through, and we do love a bit of drama in the UK, we do. Now let's have a look. The initiations. The initiation cards are similar to trump cards or the major arcana in the tarot. They represent the big moments, junctures and situations in life that carry major significance along our journey. Archetypally speaking, initiations are events that change us on a fundamental level. They are the big whammies of life. In the model of the hero's journey, they may be called the ordeal. Think falling in love, heartbreak, beyond heartbreak, death of a loved one, marriage, divorce, moving, having a child, facing a trial, or experiencing a spiritual awakening that shakes your foundation. We know we have gone through an initiatory experience when the very fibre of life as we know it has changed. We can't go back to the person we were before. But we are not yet quite sure who the new self is. Because of the weight these cards carry, take time to contemplate them deeply. You could study one of the concepts for an entire lifetime and be left with unanswered questions. That is what makes them so powerful. They are the keys that unlock the entire deck. Eventually we come to understand that the initiations are markers of a deeply personal experience that connects us with the timeless story of humanity. And then the initiations are Eros, the Agape, Thanatos, Apocalypsis, Gnosis, Kairos, Aletheia and the Anima Mundi. So I have actually been through quite a few of the initiations, but maybe after I've read the cave I'll finish the initiations then, if they're so important to this pack. A lot of these cards, their meaning is cloaked in truth. It's about unveiling the truth, hiding the truth, the truth being disclosed to you, disclosing the truth to someone else, you know. So the cave means the dark, the portal, the interior. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat, where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the centre of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet, because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city, while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. Where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend the fire. And this card represents the sacred centre within. Slowly and steadily, crystals of enormous magnitude grow within the cave, within the dark confines of caves. Let the cave teach you patience. Waiting in the dark. Envision yourself as an old sage in a cave. What amenities do you need? What draws you ever closer to the cave within the cave? Interesting question. Caves are full of shadows and firelight, aren't they? They're full of darkness, and sometimes very bleak with barely any light, and sometimes we've managed to light a fire. What's the first thing you would do if you found yourself in a cave? I'd open the tarot cards. Wouldn't you? What would you do? Sometimes a cave is another person, isn't it? To me, the cave is somewhere where we go for security and for reassurance and sustenance, and often that's another person, isn't it, in our world? It's like when you think, do you go off to see a friend for coffee, you know, and it makes us feel better, and we have a little chat, don't we? And then our life feels like as if it's been changed by another person, right? That's what we do. And is that what happens in the cave? When we retreat to our cave. Now, I'm just going to put these under here to show you the shuffling, because the cards come up often so similar. It's almost like I have just picked the cards out, you know, and I don't want you to think that I'm choosing these cards. I'm literally shuffling them, and this is what's coming up, okay, for these piles. I'm determined to have. It's like, have I got enough tarot cards yet, do you think, people? Do I have? Could you have any more tarot cards? I can hear Chandler's voice. Could there be any more tarot packs? I mean, I know people talk about the cave, like the man cave, as if men need somewhere to go on their own. Like, when you think about that, it's accepted that men can go in retreats. Men are allowed to go somewhere to get away, right? From what? From the hubble and bubble of the daily life and the daily noise and the daily demands and the daily domesticity of life. And yet women aren't expected to need the same cave. Obviously we'd disagree with that, wouldn't we? Of course women need a cave, but do they get it? Rarely. Women aren't expected to want or need a respite from the daily hustle and bustle, are they? Just not. Right? Am I wrong? Am I right? Let me know. I'm going to put that on there so you can see these 4 piles that are emerging. I also find it funny when I'm doing these shuffling of these cards, how different pattern shapes emerge when I'm laying the pattern of the cards out. They're never the same. Sometimes I put extra things in, sometimes I don't. Now, in the cave, so what this book is saying, Knight of Pentacles, should we keep him out? The Knight of Pentacles, the man likes money. What the book is saying, and can you hear that lovely breeze making, the wind's making a beautiful noise outside today, which is really amazing considering that we've been given all this heat warning, and yet here we are in a beautiful breeze. And I did the unthinkable, I opened the windows. Okay, sorry about that, I got disturbed by my phone. I had a phone call, mid-chat about the cave. So I've got no idea what I was saying then about the cave. Completely lost the thread of what I was saying. Something about, I'm going to put the 10 of Pentacles that's turned over with the Prince of Pentacles. Somebody's going to come into some money. The 10 of Pentacles, you can't get higher than the 10 in these cards. They go up to 10, don't they? But when you have the Ace, like the Ace is more fortuitous, luckier than the 10. But the 10 suggests a lot of money, right? Now, thinking about the cave and thinking about what the cave means to you, and I'm reminded by that phone call about the patience that's needed. Look, there's literally 3 of those cards, so I'm going to take all 3 of those cards for that reading, because that's who I am. I'm not going to have the patience to put them back in, shuffle again and take out another card. Where is the patience required there? Or is the patience required because that is going to be a longer reading? There's going to be more information to process and analyse. Have I got the patience it takes to be able to do these tarot readings, knowing that one person watches them? Hello, my dear little person that watches my tarot readings. No, you never know. One of these days, somebody might be just pottering through the internet and they think, oh look, there's a archetype about the cave. What's that information all about? And that's why I'm doing these YouTubes, dear lovely YouTube watcher, because someone might learn something. And yeah, it might be useful to someone out there, this information from my tarot readings. And I do think and feel that if one person gets some benefit from what we're doing here, what I'm doing here, then it's worth doing, isn't it? And also, I've done that thing where I've made the commitment of doing a reading for each of the archetypes. So I've made the commitment, so here we are. And the truth of it is, although I could be using this time to create my own oracle cards and to do the work involved with that, I wouldn't probably anyway. I'd be stuck sitting in front of Netflix, right, or finding some other way to spend my time other than being productive at the latest project that I'm actually really excited about. So maybe after these readings I'm going to force myself to do some work. Now, I use the term loosely because there's a limit to what I can actually do with the cards yet, because I'm still deliberating with the artists at the moment. I might make a little YouTube about the process of making some oracle cards. Do you want to hear a coincidence? No, well, I'm going to share one with you anyway, because my oracle cards that I'm creating are all about coincidence and synchronicity and what they mean. And I've assigned meanings to all the coincidental things that happen to us. And give me some feedback here, dear lovely YouTube watchers. My book that I've written about coincidence, which I haven't managed to publish yet, but I will, I include a little chapter in there about life events that happen that are coincidental. You know, like if you bump into someone that you know from home when you're on holiday, so you fly 3,000 miles, walking down the road and you recognise one of your neighbours because you've just both happened to have travelled to the identical part of the world. Right, that's a coincidence for both of you that has deep meaning and you're both shocked and surprised. Right, now I've got a whole load of those, like being asked for directions, you know, because you're the person that knows the way. And my son looked at my tarot cards, my coincidence cards, and he said, you can't have those in there because they're not really a coincidence, don't count. Right, okay. So let me know, dear watchers of these lovely YouTube, do you think that the coincidences, like meeting someone that's got an identical name as yours when you've got quite an unusual name, do you think that warrants a card in an oracle card? Like meeting a familiar person in a strange place, being asked for directions. You know, that sort of thing. This is the day and age of Google. No one needs directions. But if you do get asked for directions, it's almost guaranteed it's not just going to be somewhere that you know the way to. It's going to be somewhere that has deep meaning and significance for you, right? Like you've got a link and a connection to that place. That's how I feel about it anyway. Now, let me know, dear people watching this, what you think, because my process of creating these cards, I went round and did some tea leaf readings for one of my friends. Now, my name's Tamasin, and it turns out that my friend has got a sister called Tamasin. And I was just happened to speak to my friend and say that, you know, I'm looking for an artist. I need an artist to do my oracle cards. And she says that her sister is an artist. I'm like, what? So we've had the Zoom chat about what she can and cannot do, and she's currently drafting me up a card so I can have a look and see what she thinks about creating some tarot cards. So that's where I am in this process, and I've come up with 88 items that are objects that are subjects of coincidence, and I've come up with the type of people that bring us those subjects and also the meanings. Now, this might sound like a lot of work, but it doesn't feel like work to me because I enjoy doing it. But when you've got to put them on a bit of paper and try and organise them so that someone else can understand it, it just feels like admin. So that's why I'm here with you, dear lovely YouTube, doing these tarot readings, because this is more creative and more fun and feels more productive than actually working on my oracle cards. So you know how I usually start with the hardest one first? What do we think is the hardest pile here? I would say it's this giant rock of a stone that looks very severe and harsh, but it does have a dash of light still left. All is not lost. Let's try doing the reading for the all is not lost stone first, because this person might feel like retreating to the cave, and we're here to have a look at their story. Oh, spiritual growth. Look at that, isn't that perfect? The blue and the white, it matches this, doesn't it? I love that. I love the way the colours just match. Spiritual growth is definitely something that you would achieve if you were licking your wounds in a cave, or if you were retreating from the troubles of life. That is definitely something that would happen. Oh my goodness, the Tower comes up for a move and a complete breakdown of the situation. Now he's got the lovely brown background there as well, sort of muted colours like around the edge of the spiritual growth. And then we've got the Six of Pentacles. Now this is the cards, this is the pack that had the Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. All this money. Look at all this money. What has happened here? Has there been a small fortune amassed? Faith. Oh, that faith. Look at that. It's a perfect card for spiritual growth. I love that. Anyway, a small fortune that has been amassed, but somebody feeling not satisfied and unhappy with having to work on their own. Oh my goodness, the Ace of Pentacles. I was literally only talking about the Ace of Pentacles a moment ago, because sometimes when people find themselves in a place in their life where they've put all their energies into working and creating money, they turn around and they find that it isn't enough, it doesn't feel satisfying, and then there's the realisation, hold on a minute, life's not forever, right? Life's finite. There's only a certain amount of heartbeats that we've all got, and then to realise that there must be more than this. People retreat into this cave to re-establish their spiritual connection and their belief and their faith. Oh, I love this card, the Snow Leopard. I love the Snow Leopard. Did I tell you, dear YouTube people, while I'm on the story of coincidences, I said to the YouTube, if you see a snow leopard or an animal with blue eyes, let me know. And I went into a sweet shop round the corner, and there was a card being sold. I think it might have been a snow tiger with blue eyes. I'll have a look, see if I can find the photo, and I'll put it on for you so you can see. But as a coincidence, literally I spoke about it and then it happened. I saw one, it was very similar to what I'd been talking about, and I took that as, you know, look, here it is, here's your coincidence of what you were talking about. And then we have this other lady on her own, looking at her cauldron, being witchy and trying to blend with nature, but she's still on her own. And what she wants to be is in a relationship and happy with another person. Why isn't it happening? Okay, so you have to take part in order to be. So the participation and the cave are the two opposites, aren't they? In order for this to happen, for this person, and you can see clearly it's a journey that it can happen, you have to be a cooperative component, as Esther Hicks says from the Law of Attraction. You have to be wanting to join in. You can't be spending all your time on your own, doing your own thing, working alone, trying to figure it all out on your own. If you want to be in a relationship, you have to go out there and do some blending and joining in with other people who are also at the same stage of their lives. And that's the only people you're going to meet, is people that are on your wavelength. So if you want to meet people that are happy already, you have to be happy already. If you want to meet people who are only happy because they're in a relationship or with someone else, then that's what you're giving off. If you're giving off that feeling that you need that other person, and they look at the body language here, look, absolutely leaning on this person, that's fine as long as you meet somebody who wants to be leaned on, and you recognise that you're giving away part of yourself if you're having that codependent sort of relationship. But if you want to be happy in yourself first, you'll meet someone else who also knows how to be happy. Because do you really want to be with someone who is only happy because you're there? Because that puts on a lot of responsibility for that person. Either they've always got to be there, otherwise you're not happy, or their behaviour and actions changes how you feel. Right? That codependent thing, it grinds after a while. It's tiring and hard work. But if you want a happy relationship, and again here, there's nothing here to suggest the person knows how to be happy. There's no cups come out for this reading. There's spiritual growth, and there's unhappiness because of all the time spent alone and time making money. But where's the emotional state? Is this a person that can only be happy if they're in a relationship? Is this you, dear lovely person, who feels like they can't be happy on their own? Learn to be happy on your own, and you'll meet a better partner for you, because you will meet someone who's healthier, emotionally healthier for you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Okay, so there's another giant rock. It's a giant rock, isn't it? It's not gnarly, it's not unpleasant, but it's really solid. It's like practically like a boulder. It's like a boulder. Let's see. This person that's chosen a beautiful blue, though, it is blue, can you see that? A beautiful blue boulder to go into the cave to come out with ideas and inspiration. Feeling harmonious. That's a lovely card to see. It says a person that goes into the cave, they're already happy with their lot. Shall we have a little look at this person that's come up with 3 of these Mystic Mondays? There's 3 cards that fell out for this person. Look at this. 6 of Cups twice. And just to make sure you know that it is for you, this is harmony with your emotional balance. It's blue. It's perfect, isn't it, for this? I love that. 2 6 of Cups. What are the chances of that happening? Now, the Justice card came up upside down. Now, in fairness, I haven't put my cards around the right way for some time, okay? But I don't feel that this card should be upside down. I feel like there is justice coming your way, so something that has been skewed can come right, can be put right by you. So this is something that has been happening that's not fair, or imbalanced more than not fair. You know, these scales of justice here, where it would be really easy just to tip the balance one way or the other. Well, you're the person that's had to wait for this. And so for this, bear in mind, going into the cave requires patience. Waiting for justice equally has tested your patience. Now, it's led to a complete breakdown of a situation. It's led to you feeling like you're doing it all on your own, and a complete death of a situation. These are very strong cards, and it's a very strong story. And so now you're in your cave waiting, looking for the clues as to what's the next for you. Look at this. You've got the gift of the mental, psychic connection with spirit. And in order for you to link onto that, to grasp just a little glimmer of hope for the next stages of your life, you need to take some time out and go within yourself. Look at how blue this is around the edge, isn't it lovely? And in fairness, there's a lot of blue here as well. A lot of blue. And here's the 8 of Swords. So this is the idea that you're blindfold to the situation. So you have been in the dark about a lot of things, and it has felt very unfair to you, which of course is if other people know things that you don't know. And here's the Unicorn. I love the Unicorn card. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds. See, this person is seeing and this person is not seeing. Why is this not person seeing? Why is this person choosing not to see? Now, would you say that someone who's tied up with a blindfold is choosing not to see? Because this person, all she has to do is reach her hands up and lift the blindfold off, and she can choose to see if she wants. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light, abandon the darkness and go beyond the ordinary and become the legendary. Oh wow, can you imagine being a legend in your own time? And there's a lot of this lilac colour with this justice as well, isn't there? Can you see that? This lilac of the yin and yang, because you've got to take the dark with the light. That's how I feel about it. I don't see how you can just look to cards for a celebration of the light without recognising that there's an element of darkness. And the cave explores the darkness knowing that there's light to come back to, right? Okay, here we are again. The 10 of Wands. And see the little squirrel there helping her find the harvest and looking for where the nuts are. But she's carrying all the burdens and feeling like she's doing it on her own. But these things that she's carrying are things that she needs to start a fire with when she gets there. So she's got the 9 of the Wands and 10 of Wands. So there's real hope there. Every one of those sticks in that bundle is a stick of hope for what she wants. And there's guidance in the form of the signs that are coming her way to show her which way to go. Okay, so she knows she's not far from things that you need to be thriving, because otherwise the squirrel wouldn't be there. The squirrel is a symbol of abundance and energy. And look at this. Now this person to me looks like somebody to be overcome, because he's wearing a monocle, a red cloak, and he's got a suit on, and all those articles of status make him important, don't they? According to him, not according to everyone else, but he needs them for his own self-worth and security. So this person, if you take his cloak off, is like the Emperor's new clothes. There's nothing special about this person, but they've crowned themselves and given him the role of king, and he's got his hands in on his hips to make himself look bigger. Look how important I am, you know. But don't be fooled. Do not be fooled by this person who isn't worthy of your sorrow. So there's deep sorrow here, which you can do what you like with sorrow. You can choose to recognise what the sorrow is for, feel it and know that it won't last forever, so you can get over it. Or you can stay stuck in sorrow. It's like getting stuck in anger. When you stop to look at what are you being sorrowful for, what are the feelings of sadness about? If you've got a genuine feeling for sorrow, and often this revolves loss, doesn't it? Sorrow. Sometimes it's regret, sorrow, and you feel a sense of sadness about what should have been, what could have been, and it's not how things are, how you want them to be, which is fine. But to be sorrowful about a situation which you can change, you've got to ask yourself, how much time do I want to waste in sorrow? Okay, how genuine is the sorrow? What is it for? Because sorrow is a very powerful emotion to stuff down. If you don't feel sorrow, it can come out as anger. Okay, so if you are feeling sorrowful about a situation that you've been through, feel the sorrow, let it out, recognise that's what you're doing as part of the healing process, and then get ready to let go of the past and move forward. And it is a process, and it's not an easy thing to do. And sorrow sometimes can last for years, right? And you think, how long do you want to be feeling these feelings of sorrow? And ask yourself why, and what is it you're sorrowful for? Make sure you're feeling sorrowful for the right person, the right reasons. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. So the person that's going into the cave because they've got a very deep issue, problem to deal with. Sometimes people go into the cave and retreat because they're looking for answers. Answered prayer. How do you like that? Okay, people go into the cave to pray, to get answers come their way, don't they? Shall we have a look at these in this order that they are in? Ace of Swords. Okay, dear lovely person that's looking at this reading, yes, you've got a lot of obstacles to overcome, but the Ace of Swords is giving me the hope that there's nothing that you can't overcome. The Seven of Swords reversed. What does this mean? Do you know what? I'm going to look this up for you. This card reversed means treachery, manipulation, considering escape from an imprisoning situation. Okay, so if it was the right way up, it would be skillfulness and determination that needs to be used for the right purposes. In other words, you've got all these swords and you need to use them to cut through the obstacles that are holding you back, cut through chains. Use these as your words that are your weapons, okay? But you use them wisely. But for you, this is upside down. Manipulation that tends to backfire, change of heart, treachery. Okay, so there's a need to retreat because of things other people have done and said. Look at that, another 7 of Cups. No, and then the 8 of Cups. This is a lot of losses at once. Oh, but you have got the balance, and that's what I was thinking about these 2 7s. It's the balance. Yes, there's been a lot of hurt and heartache, but equally there's been a certain amount of joy, and this is the hard part to understand about this balance business. It's and again with the 8 of Cups upside down, when this is up the right way, it's feeling that all is lost and everything is gone, and it's unhappiness at work and being upset at work. When it's round the other way, it's the opposite. It says that you, in fact I'm going to read it to you. It says, reason before feeling, new point of view, strong needs. Reason before feeling, strong needs, and a new point of view. So you can come out of your cave with a new point of view, having recognised that the feelings that you've had around this distrust and this pain that's happened to you, you don't need to be feeling these things. And this card is asking you to remember that there's a balance in all things, okay? Emotionally balanced state, mentally balanced, balanced physically, balanced mentally. And this is work for you to do on your own, isn't it? Oh, and again, we've got the wash of emotion. Sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. Align with your purpose and the power in your soul. Okay, so have you noticed all the greens that you've got here? The greens and the water feeling. And this is a lot of blue from the universe and the blue from the swords. I'm going to open these other cards for you, but I suspect what's missing from this reading is the spiritual connection. Where is the spiritual connection? There's the pain, there's the recognition that you don't need to be feeling this much pain, and asking you to put your mind to work on how you're feeling and get your mind to heal your feelings, because you're praying to spirit as if you are separate from spirit. And these cards, look at the lovely green, this is reminding you you're like a fish swimming in the ocean, saying, oh, I don't know where to get some water from, I don't know where the water is, right? There it is. There's thinking negatively, the 10 of Swords. There's letting your mind run off and do its own thing. It's believing the negative and the bad in every situation. It's looking negatively at everything and being hopeless about the outcome and thinking, well, nothing's ever going to change for me. It can't change. I can't see how things can be different because I can only see what's gone wrong and what's not working. Look at this beautiful card. Nature. They're almost blended together so much they're like camouflaged, aren't they? This card is asking you to reconnect to your spiritual nature, and one way to do that is to spend time in nature every day. So 10-15 minutes every day, have a little walk. Make sure you pass a tree at least once a day. Okay? Now these elementals and the trees, you think the trees have been around for hundreds of years. Yeah, go and find a really old tree, put your hand on it, take your shoes off, put your feet on the floor. It takes your mind away from the negative thinking about your current situation. Now, if you're finding yourself in a cave of loneliness and a pit of despair, put your hands on the walls and just feel the strength that you get from touching a solid surface. that sensory feeling of remembering, hold on, there's more here already, and the answered prayer that you're asking for help, and you're asking for what can I do now, what's next. Yeah, this is walking away from the situation that wasn't happy for you and didn't work for you, and feeling downcast, and yet having the strength to walk away. And all these people are walking away, aren't they? They're all looking down and looking at their next steps. They're looking for their future. Now this card is a source of desperate unhappiness, looking at what other people are doing and how other people are living their lives, and seeing that other people seem to be having a better time than you. That's not true, and you can't tell by looking at what's on the outside what's going on the inside for a person. Let's look at what the next steps are for you. Are they, shall we see? Because this is a card that says there's a person really suffering here from the things that they've gone through, and for them to be able to put themselves back on straight and narrow without some help is going to be a massive effort. Okay, and you're praying for answers and they don't seem to be coming to you. Look at this, the King of Swords. There's someone else that's already done this, that's been through the experience. There's having the inner strength to know what to do, and having the Nine of Wands suggests to me that you've got more opportunities than you can see. So you need to get in touch with this person who can see things for you. Okay, there's someone in your world, because there's the Ace of Swords here, the King of Swords. There's someone in your world that knows, I'm going to swear now, I apologise, that knows how to cut through the bullshit. That's what I'm picking up here. There's someone that can look at your situation and take the sword of truth, cut right through it. It's like you're sitting in these clouds of confusion and mayhem and just mixed emotions and just unhappy. This person gets their sword to cut through that fog. The fog just goes away and brings clarity to you as to what your next steps can be. And a person who can say, you can do this, 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 this. And one of those things is going to appeal to you so that you can go, yeah, actually, that's my lifeline. I'm going to hang on to that for the moment. And there's going to be one of these 9 wands that you can be offered for you to hang on to. Yeah, actually, I'll just try this one then. And just see what happens. One step at a time, one event at a time, one feeling at a time, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, however desperate the situation is for you, it will change. Thanks for watching, dear lovely YouTubers. I suspect this person knows how to light their own fire. Because of all the stones that I chose, this one is light in its own way. And why would somebody who knows how to light a fire go into a cave? Well, Archangel Michael, look at this with his beautiful amber coloured card. Matches perfectly. Thank you, Guardian Angels, for allowing us to have a look at these cards. Oh, the Lovers. Do you know what this means? It doesn't always mean that there's a relationship going on that needs thinking about. It's often a decision. There's a choice of 2 paths. And people, the 9 of Swords. Again, it's in reverse. I should read it in reverse. I know a lot of people don't like the reversed idea, but if it's come up upside down, how can we ignore this? Reversed, it means anxiety regarding loved ones, hermit, meditation, sanctuary. Okay, so you're claiming sanctuary. You need a rest from the drama of it all. Is that what's happening? Princess of Wands. There's a young female. Oh, and there's a young male who's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Consciousness. Oh, so you're going to your cave to raise your level of consciousness so you can clear your head and have some understanding of it. Again, there's a reversed Emperor. Cougar. Assertive. Yeah, this is not a person who's scared to be assertive. And look at the blending of the colours again. It's so camouflaged, isn't it? It's lovely. In silence you find power. Claim your leadership role and take action. You know where to go and what to do. You have the courage and confidence to succeed. Now the Emperor reversed. This is one of the most confident cards in the pack. Right? If you got this card, you know that you You've got the confidence to move forward, you know what action to take, you know what steps to take. But because of this confusing situation that's happened around you, you're uncertain, so you've lost your confidence. So you need to go back into your cave to regain and reclaim the confidence that is yours. Knight of Cups. Okay, and the dream. Ooh, I'm going to read the Knight of Cups. And this is the money with an angel and the coin. So you're going to have news about money coming towards you. I'm going to read this. Let's have a little look, shall we? See what this means in reverse. And the Prince of Swords in reverse. How are there so many upside down cards? Okay, in reverse. Prompt action. Nips in the bud. Recklessness, impulsive errors, indiscretion. Okay, so there's somebody out there who's been impulsive and reckless and charging off on their horse and doing things with abandon. And it's affecting your little world, except you don't have to let it affect your world to the point where you lose your confidence over it. No, there's someone around you that wants to behave how they're behaving, because who only knows what they've got going on? We just don't know, do we? We can't even picture what is going on inside people's heads as to why they do these things. Fraud, artifice, cunning, but also imagination, vision and passion. Yeah, it's the passion that's been the downfall of this person. The passion and the making haste and rushing into things, which has not done the situation any favours. It's the rushing. And again, with the cave, we've got the patience. So if you can have the patience just to wait this out, you'll see this person understand what they've done wrong and the errors that they're making and the errors that they've made. But it's quite possible they don't want to have to admit that they've made an error. So they're going to have to get themselves out of it without saying, I'm getting myself out of this situation. The Emperor, a true leader. Know that building an empire starts with a plan and the smallest step. Trust your vision, build it and they will come. Okay? But it's upside down. So who is it that's not doing their leader-like role? You've lost your leader-like confidence and trust in your ability that you can be the leader. And this person over here that's just behaving rashly, they haven't yet found their leadership skills. Okay? So the only person who can be a leader in this situation is you. And the dream, again, we're back to the visions of what can happen, what you can bring in, what you can imagine happening. You can make it happen with your powers of consciousness. Look at this beautiful blue. These completely different cards, and yet they blend so well, don't they? Okay, so dear lovely person who's retreated to the cave, you're going to emerge from the cave with a new view to taking action, having the courage to take steps forward, being the person who knows where to go, regardless of what other people are doing. You just have the strength to do your own thing, and people will fall in around you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.